Welcome back everyone, I'm CHEAP and today I'm gonna show you how to get cheap resale Youtooz products. So let's get started. Alright, for starters, we have to see where you can find Youtooz resales. And I can tell you that most of the time you're just gonna go on eBay, StockX, Mercari, if you're in the US, or even Facebook Marketplace. Now let's take each one and see how to get resales on every single one. Starting off with eBay, the easiest way to do it is to pretty much save the Youtooz search. So what you do is you go on eBay, you search for Youtooz, and then you have an option a bit below to save this search. This will pretty much tell you and notify you when new products are listed in this category. And if you are gonna look daily over here, you're gonna find a bunch of good deals, a bunch of sellers that actually sell expensive figures for a decent and reasonable price. This is how I got a lot of my figures as well from resale, since I actually take the time and watch these every single day, just make sure that I don't miss out on any good deals. Now, of course, if you do find a figure that you want and you see the option of sending an offer, that can also increase your chances of getting a lower price for that product. Most of the times, if you are not too harsh about the discount that you want on the product, you will get a bit of a discount. So it's worth trying. And if the seller does not accept your offer, then you can buy it at the full price, or maybe even wait for another one to pop up for a lower price. Now moving on to StockX, I'm not gonna talk much about this one because it's a very regulated market. I guess you can say sellers are not really on their own and buyers aren't either. It's a bit more different and you won't really find cheap resales out there. The only reason people actually buy from StockX and Youtooz recommends you to buy from StockX would be because of the fact that you know for sure when you buy that you are gonna receive the item, or a refund if the item didn't pass the verification. So you're not gonna find anything cheap out there, I'm pretty sure. Or if it's gonna be something cheap after all of the taxes and fees, it's gonna come out to something that you're probably gonna be able to find on eBay as well. So take that into consideration when searching on StockX. Now moving on to Mercari, again I'm not going to talk too much about this one either because it's only available in the US. I've seen a lot of people actually buy very expensive figures for decent prices on Mercari. There's a lot of people that list figures for decent prices over here because of the fact that Mercari has lower selling fees and sellers can afford to cut down on the figures price or any other product since they don't pay as much in fees to Mercari. So again, here you can save the search and get notified. This is what I suggest you do. You check constantly, at least once a day, maybe even more, and see every single product that is new. This way you ensure that you are not gonna miss on anything and that you're gonna see every single product and its price. Now, if you do see something that is of interest to you, you can also like the product and get notifications or updates about the product. Now, last but certainly not least, Facebook Marketplace. Now this is a bit more fishy, and by that I mean that there's no restrictions for the sellers or that sort of stuff. The payments are usually done in hand because that's what it's made for, but the thing is that you can actually filter out Youtooz searches to certain locations. So even if you are from Europe, you can go to New York and see figures from New York, and most of the times if you find a good deal, sellers might be able to ship to you if you pay the shipping price, and you can pay them on PayPal. Now again, you have to be very careful since there are a lot of scams, and paying through PayPal does have a few risks as well, especially if you pay with friends and family, since you won't be able to get your money back if you're getting scammed. If you buy through PayPal on Facebook Marketplace, be sure to pay through goods and services so that you have have some sort of guarantee in case you get scammed. Now this one is the most interesting out of them all because there's just some insane deals over here. Like from time to time you see people put dream figures or other expensive figures at like $60, $80, which is very cheap for these ones specifically. So that's why it's worth taking a look every single time, at least let's say once a week, and pretty much go through the entire United States, Canada, UK and Australia. That's the main spots where I've noticed that you can actually buy figures off of, and I actually did buy a couple from Facebook Marketplace through PayPal and everything worked out smoothly for now, so yeah. Now there is actually a couple more ways that you can buy figures, and that's pretty much through some groups. I've seen some groups on Facebook about selling and buying Youtooz figures, and there's also a Discord, I believe, a Discord server where you can sell and buy your figures. So you can find a bunch of these online, and people will be willing to sell the figures for a lower price, since if the payment is through PayPal, then the fees are also lower, so they don't pay as much to like eBay or other sites like this, and they only pay like 3-5% to PayPal, which is a huge bonus for the seller and for the buyer, since the seller gets the same amount for the item and the buyer gets the same item for a smaller charge. I'm gonna tell you once again that if you do find any of these groups and you buy stuff from here, be sure to check if the person is trusted. You can even request photos of the figure or plush or whatever with their name, let's say, on a piece of paper next to the item, so that you know that it's them and that they are actually trying to sell it and not trying to scam you. And then as a payment security, use PayPal and use the goods and services method so that you can actually get your money back if anything happens, like scamming, or even if the item is lost in transit. That can happen too, so yeah, make sure you're covered. But that's pretty much it for this video. Let me know in the comments if you use any other tricks or anything for these sites, or any other methods of buying figures for cheap. I will gladly read every single one of them. So yeah, thanks very much for watching. See you next time.